Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. My name is Megan Waters. I'm the Community Marketing Manager with Armstrong, and today we're at the Crawford County School for Adult Education to talk more about the program. Thank you for joining us. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Tina Achenbach. I'm the president of Crawford County School for Adult Education.
I'm Tina Achenbach. I'm the curriculum director.
Very good. Thank you so much for joining us. We're glad to be here and learn a little bit more about the school and the program and what you're doing in our community. So first, to get started, tell me a little bit about what the school is, what is your mission, and what do you do here for your students?
Well, we try to hit a lot of different things, whatever adults need. If there's a gap in their employment, and help them with some skills for getting back into the workforce, soft skills, resume writing, that sort of thing for those folks. We also have GED tutoring. And so we have folks come in for either all 4 subject areas, maybe just one subject area. We have an adult who has applied to just review some math, already has his diploma, but in his shop, he feels he needs to take some more math. And we have, we had 8 students in English as a second language. We now have 6 because 2 have returned to other places to live. And so now we're working with those folks in the area and having a lot of family cut.
I would add to that we have offered certifications to our students through school. Serve-Safe certification and workshops been taught here, and the students were able to take tests, get certified for the food service industry. We have offered CPR, AED, and basic first aid certifications through Andrea Horosky comes in, does workshops, and those cards, I believe, are good for 2 years. So we try to get that every 2 years to get as many of our students and staff certified. And then, as Tina said, the job readiness program is we call it Strive, and it's taught through modules and workshops based on their needs, based on our student demographic at the time and what their needs are. So it could be anything from computers to interview skills to learning styles. And so there's a lot of, and we have contacts with local employers too. We partner with a lot of local employers. When we started, that was one of the first things that we did. We wanted to ask the employers what they were seeing, what they needed, what was lacking. And then we work with them continually to kind of, shape what we offer here based on what is needed in the community from an employment perspective.
For example, we work closely with Marquette Savings. They come in and do a wonderful personal finance management workshop because a lot of people are lacking in that area, and a fraud workshop on how to be safe online, how to keep your money safe, and so forth. So that's just one example to the Strive program that we had.
Danny Oshurak from Palmero Toyota came in at the right workshop on just how to fill out an application because he sees them, and he brought in good applications and he brought in not so good applications, and then he talked to them about the interview. What would that be like? And we've even had the mock interviews with our students.
Oh, yes.
And that's a real formal setting. We try to create, what it would be truly like, have them dress appropriately, and put them through an interview with them, and gives them a little bit of, I guess, experience more than confidence.
Yeah. And our English second language students have come in for help naturally with the language across all areas, from never having any English before to having lived in Ukraine and having to leave and go to Germany to coming to the United States, and everywhere from a physician to a banker to homemakers. We've helped 2 of them to gain employment in the area and frees them to get their driver's licenses so they can drive in Pennsylvania. So, that's a whole other set of needs that we didn't realize when we first started with one student, and then decided to share that everyone.
So it sounds like you're really finding ways to meet people where they're at, what they need, whether that's, like you're saying, something very practical like a driver's license, or some certification so that they can move further with their education and their training. And you're working very collaboratively with the community and the employers as well. So it sounds like it's a very holistic picture from what they need, the building blocks for that foundation all the way through. So that's the goal. That's fantastic. And always evolving, right?
Always evolving. When we first started, we we looked at each other and said, what do we want to do? Right out of the gate. Right out of the gate, the answer was, let's do what we can do. So we developed the work readiness program first. And it didn't take very long for us to realize there was some real need for GED. And so we had to develop a curriculum for GED, write the curriculum, get staff for teaching the curriculum. And then beyond that, ESL just fell in our lap. So I looked at my wife, a language teacher, and I guess you're it as far as English as a second language. So, and we've worked with Allegheny College. They've added a student to come in and help work with that program. We've had student helpers in the office. Our whole thing is based on community. We really don't care who gets any kind of credit. We didn't do this for that. We want to work as a community. In fact, our motto is, self, family, community. So our feeling is that if we can help the individual achieve their goals and, maybe pursue a better path in their life, that would certainly help their families. And then the idea being that would help the community on the whole. They could become, active in the community and feel confident about that. And we network enough that our students are able to meet people that they would not have normally met, to come into contact with people that were willing to help them that maybe they would have never been. They need our students need confidence, and one way for them to get that confidence is to see that there are people out there that are willing to help them, and have it like that.
Sure, absolutely. And a lot of our nonprofits, I've spoken about this before, do such a great job of working hand in hand. And it sounds like you're in that as well, working with Allegheny, really pulling the resources that our community has together to set these folks up for their best chances of success.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fantastic, because that's how we support the community as a whole and keep moving forward, which is what I think we all want here in town. Well, Mary, good. Now, you do a lot. It sounds like it's a pretty wide variety of things. How do you keep that all funded and moving?
Gifts.
No.
Well, volunteers. So we write for grants.
Our community has been good to us.
They've been very good.
We've been able to gain funding through the Human Services Grant. We've gained funding through the Heritage Foundation, Crawford Gives, individual donations. I'd love to be able to share with you a name, but we've had anonymous donors that have enabled us to put enough computers, have a computer lab, to lend computers during COVID, where students we were basically trying to Zoom in with our lessons, and they didn't have the ability, and so we have to fix that. So we're able to get funding to get computers and hotspots if they didn't have Wi-Fi, to be able to enable them to continue with their education. That was all community support that we're able to get. And we are really on the verge of another round of fundraiser with our annual golf outing.
Okay.
And that's going to be September 27th at Whispering Pines Golf Course. And it's going to be a great day. We feel like the price is right, $75 a golfer, $300 a team. There are ways for individuals that want to be identified as sponsors. And we have put together really a fun day for folks, and we encourage folks to support us that way and have a good time through our golf outing as well.
Absolutely. I know Armstrong is going to be participating in this year's golf outing, so we will be sponsoring as well as participating as a team. So I know the guys are interested and excited to do that. It's a way we can support you, and also a way we can support our team. Show them a good time, because we know you'll show them that.
Yeah, and that's really what it's all about. We really believe our mantra is, there's not a problem that we shouldn't be able to solve in the community if we come together as a team to work on that problem. So it's really all about that. So
eliminating roadblocks.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
We talked about that earlier. So it sounds like you're really addressing those things. You're finding the funding sources. I know you mentioned Crawford Gives. Talk to us a little bit more about your history and what folks can do to participate in that this year.
Will you take that one too?
We started back in 2018. We began, and Crawford Gives is in their third year. They're in their third year, or their fourth, and we've hopped on since the beginning. And folks can donate to us through Crawford Gives, and it will be matched by a local business to directly influence what we're doing. Since we are all volunteers, our instructors aren't paid, office, all of us are volunteers. So the money goes directly to what we need to get for the students. Do we need to update anything for the GED? Do we need to, get textbooks? What do we need? This person might need a whole gamut. Stuff to write with, stuff to write on,
Sure.
books, a Chromebook for home, you don't know.
Again, eliminating those obstacles.
Exactly.
Square one.
Right.
Once they apply and go through the process of putting together an individual education plan for each one of the students, which we do, there are no costs. There's no cost for any textbooks. There's no cost for any materials. When it comes time for them to take the test, the GED test, we pay for that. We fund that. And then another big development, I think, was a result of COVID more than anything else. We were able to become a test site, so our students can take their GED test here. Now, prior to that, they were able to take it out at Laurel Technical, but that's no more. So again, once again, our students would have to drive to Erie, they'd have to drive to Hermitage, they'd have to find a location, and that is an obstacle for many of them. They don't have the ability to do that. So we, getting that, the okay for us to give the test here is a big gain for us.
It does that.
But no cost. Again, no cost to the students. So we're constantly, I know I am worried about funding and raising money and things like that. But the community's been good to us, and we're so appreciative of that.
Yes, they just have to be 18 years old, and their graduating class has to have already graduated.
Okay.
So they can't just decide in their sophomore year, I'll just get my GED. First of all, it's not just get my GED. It's hard. I think it's harder. But, you can't just quit school and then come here. Their class has to have graduated, and then they're 18, and then they can come here and be a resident of Crawford County.
Good to know. And can they start at any point in the year?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Just rolling.
It's rolling. So we have students that are 18, and we have students that are 55.
Yeah.
So, and a lot in between. So, right, it's fun, it's interesting. Each one of them has an individual education plan based on where we met them, what their needs are, what the gap has been in their education, when they last attended school. Some of them feel like, well, I should be able to get this in a couple of weeks. No, we tell them right away it's going to take some time and effort to finish this program. So it just depends on their motivation and, how hard they want to work at it. But they're goal-oriented. We try to help them with that, setting realistic goals, having benchmarks to check off, okay, I'm on the right path. And that's a big part of it, too, is that part of it, working on what's realistic, what do you want to do. Once you get your GED, what's next? What sort of job would you like to get? And so on. So we try to help them with that.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like the most important step for them to take is just to reach out.
Yeah.
Step over that threshold, and that's very difficult to some people.
Sure. But it's good for them to know that you're here, that the resources are here, and even if it's not here, you guys are willing to grow.
We'll find it. If you're having an issue, tell us, and we'll try to find.
Great. So is there anything else that you think we need to know about the Crawford County School for Adult Education?
I just want to say that we're a committed group. All of us that either serve on the board or part of the teaching faculty or our partners, it's the same goal. So when you can get that in place and you have people understanding what the vision is, what the core values are, and what the mission is, you got something going. So we feel good about where we're at, and we just want to be able to keep going, encourage the community to continue to support us.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us today. It's been very informative. It's a great space that you have here, very encouraging, and it sounds like you've got a lot going in a great direction for the future of the school.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for that foursome and the sponsorship.
Absolutely. Yes, Armstrong. Oh, yes. We're going to put that on the docket as well. That's part of our sponsorship. Okay. So I'll try and push that through for you. So very good. Thank you very much again for joining us today. If you have any interest in the Crawford County School for Adult Education, please don't hesitate to reach out.